at Ramadi, Iraq, at Joint Station Jamaica.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know why I struggle with that. And this is a continuation of what I'm calling OAF 4, and this is Sergeant Humphrey's interview. This is the second part. Sir, we were talking about I believe it was the first part of the deployment, and you were talking about contracts that you're putting together for agricultural development. And overall, I assume that was a success, sir?
Yes, absolutely. What we were able to do is provide the irrigation tools to the people that got the farmers working, one, providing jobs. Then we saw the push of the local produce into the souk, and food prices started dropping.
The souk, that's
the market.
That's Arabic for market?
Correct.
Okay. I think we were talking earlier, you were saying that one of the things that you did quite a bit was writing contracts, which, you know, is really not something you would expect a Marine NCO, or for that fact even an officer, to do. But is that actually a critical or pivotal part of your duties now as an augmentation team leader? If so, you know, could you go in a little detail and explain to us the lessons learned?
And it's very basic. Basically what I do is I bring in contractors, get them to bid against each other, trying to find just obviously the person who can get the job done for the least amount of money. We sit down, we have several negotiation sessions. What they'll then do is they'll make a formal contract in Arabic and English, broken down to every aspect. For instance, an agricultural project would have the tractor, how many days they need a tractor and the price, how many workers they need, how many water pumps they need, things like that. From there, I turn that paperwork into Lieutenant Larson, who then...
He's leading company at XO, right?
Correct.
Okay. Exactly.
He then puts it into the format that it needs to be sent up to battalion, brigade, and MEF for contract approval.
Okay. And this has been a learning experience the entire time. I assume what you writing contracts back in the first 2 months is unlike or is changed now.
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed a little bit. Just basically, we've gotten better at our job as far as getting the prices as low as possible, understanding the negotiating process, bringing several people in to create that capitalistic bidding war, and just basically getting the most bang for our buck, as I've said before.
Okay, I assume in Arabic cultures there's a real tendency of the Arabs wanting to haggle. Has that been a challenge to overcome that, or?
It has been. I mean, sometimes in the American way of thinking, like you see when you're in a conversation, you see that there's an easier way to take, a more direct route, I would say. Sometimes the Arabic way of negotiation is kind of roundabout, very time consuming. Sometimes it can get aggravating, but you just have to be patient, deal with it, go through the process, and you get the end result.
I think we were talking about earlier, you said that the Arabs actually look upon their haggling as actually a skill set.
Absolutely.
And it's something they respect too, so I assume if you just give in to their demands immediately, they actually not only they make a tidy little fortune, but they're also lose respect for you.
Correct. I mean, just like any good businessman in America, you go ahead and you give them something, they're going to take as much as they can get from you. You go ahead and you set your boundaries, and you're able to make it competitive for them, then they'll respect you more, and also like they'll understand like this isn't a person who can be pushed around.
Okay. During the first, I guess I'm kind of breaking it down into months. So during the first month, other than setting up the actual first initial augmentation teams and the joint stations, was there anything else that perhaps maybe we're missing, or?
The most important thing that we were doing is things like leader engagements, finding the influential people in the area, establishing links. As everyone knows, obviously they operate on a tribal system. Trying to find out exactly how those tribes work, who are the sheikhs of the tribe, why is this person important, who is he related to, what are the familial ties. So then understanding some of the nepotism that goes on within the system. Same thing with the Iraqi chain of command, finding out like what station chief is related to who, Are they cousins? Are they brothers? Those things become very important in dealing with people, just because you realize sometimes what their motivation is behind some of their actions, and it just helps you better understand your social AO as much as possible.
Was there any lessons that you took away from this that you might want to pass on to perhaps a future audience about the trying to figure out, you said, the leadership network or the influential people?
I would say just take the time. That's what it basically comes down to. An outsider looking in may see a Marine officer sitting down, spending an hour literally smoking cigarettes and drinking chai with some local people. A person looking from the outside might say, he's not doing any work. He's not doing anything. He's just hanging out. He's actually sitting there, establishing those relationships, one, and two, just getting a better understanding of all of the social atmospherics in the area, Arab culture, the families, the tribes, everything. And that's what we were really successful at, was just trying to get as many people to talk to us as possible, so we would get all different people's view on a lot of subject matter, and we could kind of construct what our point of view was going to be and how we would affect change.
Was there a database or a spreadsheet or something you had to set up, tying all these different families together? Because I assume, I've been told the Arabic names are a bit complicated, but once you understand how the Arabic names work,
right,
you can figure out their tribal...
yeah, it gets pretty simple. I mean, it's basically their name, their second name is always their father's name, and then their third name is their grandfather's name. So you can start to establish those family ties pretty quickly. Basically what we did was just, graphs showing like family trees. We literally made family trees with pictures of individuals, their names, who they are, and then from there the branches of how they're related. We did it for the police, the Iraqi police side of the house. We did it for the different sheikh families. We did it for the tribes and the sub-tribes.
Okay, and that worked out fairly successfully, or?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I guess you're turning it over to 2-8 when...
Yes, and what that does is it really helps facilitate cross-boundary talk for the Marines. I might say, I spoke with Sheikh so-and-so, and Lieutenant Falk or Lieutenant Mahika is going to come from their AO. Well, they're dealing with his brother on a different matter, and for whatever reason the situation is, maybe we draw a link of why he's talking to me and why his brother's talking to him. Maybe they're after something, or maybe there's a goal that they're trying to get to, and we can just kind of see the entire scope of things that are happening around us. So it really, everybody understanding those ties